A Northern California animal activist claims she was rescuing chickens, but now she's facing up to 5.5 years in prison.
There have obviously been pretty major consequences for me for rescuing those 4 chickens from that transport truck on that night in June of 2023. But the reality is that if I could go back to standing in front of that slaughterhouse on that night, knowing exactly what I know now, I would do it again.
For the first time in their entire lives, they received individualized care. Care that was meant for them and not for a company trying to maximize its profits.
The 1966 Animal Welfare Act provides the minimum standards for non-humans. It states that animals should be able to live natural lives in an environment that allows them to express natural behaviors.
Sonoma County has a reputation of the high animal welfare standards, of beautiful rolling hills and pastures, but what we've found is that what they're really good at is actually just deceiving the public. And these animals are packed into sheds by the thousands, they're living in feces, they're being denied medical care, they're dying of starvation and dehydration. And what's particularly horrific, again, is that these companies are so good at branding that they're basically profiting off of people's compassion for animals. They know people care about animals. They know that people want to do right by them.
Farm animals are often unfairly dismissed as dumb when compared to our cherished household pets. This outdated perspective must fundamentally change.
My name is Ron King. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Oscar's Place. I used to have a very different job. I worked in media and fashion, had a midlife crisis, and 4.5 years ago rescued donkeys and launched a nonprofit. There's between 5 and 6 million donkeys a year being slaughtered, so there's your scale. I think the Donkey Sanctuary and NPR did a piece that donkeys will be, if this pattern continues, donkeys will be extinct in the next 10 years.
The animals that we traditionally think of as food, I wish people knew that they are more than that. It's easy to come to a beautiful farm sanctuary and see chickens walking around and think, oh, happy chickens, that's where my eggs come from. The truth is that if you're buying grocery store meat and eggs, that is not what their life looks like. I wish people were at least aware of that so they could maybe make different decisions about where they choose to purchase their food.
Looking at the amount of animals we have, you really start to realize that animals can be viewed as a commodity just like any other food product. And when you understand that they very much are living sentient beings, that they have wants and needs and desires as well, I believe there's a way to find a balance. So you can still have animals in your life, but you can treat them much better than, maybe just as something that exists.
Humans have this idea of kind of which animals are, like, we don't eat gorillas. These are kind of like these higher order of intelligence beings, and I think that as we start to understand and be more open to the fact that animals are way more intelligent than we give them credit for, I think that might change a little bit.
Kind of have this stigma as like stupid or stubborn animals, which is just not true, and it becomes pretty clear to people once they've been around them.
Donkeys are really emotional animals, so I think donkeys are far more dog-like than horse-like, and I have very personal relationships with these donkeys. My best friend is a donkey named Viejo.
The best thing that anyone can do is get involved in person and on the ground, come to protests, come to marches. Even if you come to one protest a month, that's huge, that's amazing, and you're making such a big difference just to have your voice be heard.
they may be able to take the light from their eyes. But as their light dims, a fire is igniting within all of us. The animal rights movement is growing, and we will protest, march, and scream from every street corner. We will rescue animals, blockade slaughterhouses, and shut down the kill floors.